The government of Uganda, through the Ministry of Water and Environment, has embarked on forming water and environment cooperatives along water catchment areas in a bid to promote environment conservation in degraded zones. Successful pilot studies have been done in Aswa area in northern Uganda, eastern and southwestern Uganda, whereby through efforts to restore degraded wetlands, affected members are given money through a revolving fund program to help them start up projects to boost their livelihoods while adapting to climate change impacts. In our EcoPlus program today, we take you to some of the beneficiaries in Kabale district in southwestern Uganda to ascertain how some of the wetlands are being restored for sustainable use through formation of water and environment conservation cooperatives. Balongo Laban is a farmer and a retired secondary school teacher. He adopted the Eurecca approach to improve his banana plantation. Balongo says there is need to increase on the funding given to them.
I came to retire when Eurecca project had started in here, teaching farmers. First of all, their key sensitization was about how to reserve the swamps, and we leave them as a natural reservoir for water. Then we survive with alternative sources of income, including banana plantations. So we adopted that chance and accepted to listen to what they were teaching us. Now, as a farmer, I found it important to improve my plantation by applying their methods. They taught us how best we can cater for our plantations, and they become more income generating than as it used to be. Actually, we as farmers, we have always been wanting to do it, but due to meager resources, we could not come up to that standard. So when Eurecca came, we started a cooperative. They gave us money, and this is the money we use in buying this grass. Each roll of grass is at 150 to here. So like my plantation here, I can use, in a season, I can use like around 20 to 30 lorries. So that is much money, and we can't have all that money. So you use in portions, whichever you get, you apply and wait for the results. They have taught us how to sustainably use the swamp, because all along we knew the swamp is meant to be drained, and we cleared it off and we cultivate and use. But when they came, they demarcated, stopped us from using it in a wrong way. Then the swamp now has regained. Communities around, they come down and harvest a lot of grass. We have been taught how to do farming in a business-oriented form. The mindset has changed, because like the methodology of caring for a banana plantation itself, they have pushed us from local to commercial. But they taught us to extend from the banana tree. You extend at least like 2 feet, then the mulches start here. They even taught me, when we are cutting the mother plant, you cut off the matoke, then the leftovers, we cut them from the direction where this young one is coming from. So we cut it from here, not anywhere haphazardly. So we want to maintain soil moisture here. There should be soil moisture in this direction where the young ones are coming and facing. All these are my people that work with me. Sometimes I have 5, sometimes I have 10, sometimes I have 3 casually, and I have those who are here ever. There are four workers that I pay, that we work together permanently. Lack of consistent prices of matoke. They just fluctuate a lot. Today, when it comes to the dry season, it goes down. Then the rainy season, it raises up. Then the challenges are lack of money to input. We need more inputs, buying cow dung from other sources, then paying these workers. Sometimes we don't have enough money to pay. So if Eurecca can look into us, they have given us money for revolving, but it's not enough.
Alinitwe Jocelyn is a widow and a member of Upper Maziba Cooperative in Kabale district. She practices poultry and piggery. Jocelyn narrates how she has benefited from the Eurecca project by the Ministry of Water and Environment.
We are digging in the swamps. They said they don't want us to go there, and then they told us to come and join group. We make a group and get these birds from Nagrik. They gave me 100 birds, but I buy and sell eggs and birds. What I choose, I can make it myself, because if I don't have the one to look for, I want to go to work, I have to finish and give it water and foods and go back. Yeah, we have gained something because we get money in this source. After in wetlands, there was rainfall. They take what is coming because we are no longer going there. My experience, it is not bad because I use local food, the fresh. If I get that piece of matoke, I give it like that. This one, for the first, it was 9. Second, it was 12. And this one, it is 9.
They are 9. So how long do they take to grow?
To grow, to sell?
Yes, to sell.
2 months. I put there this one down there, and put there this. After 4 days, after 4 days or 5 days, I remove and take it there for manure.
For manure,
Then I put air, and I put it there, another
fresh.
So what? I can keep it, and how the is it trashes, how they make it, because you can put there water, food. I sell it for 130 a tipper.
What do you mean by getting red?
Because it roasting, it roasts. Yeah, it takes about 1 month to get roasted. Then I sell it.
How much is
A sack. I sell it a tipper, a caloric.
a tipper?
Yeah.
A tipper is 100.
130. They are supposed to give us chicks, not money. But every month we have to save.
In that cooperative?
Yeah, in that our cooperative. Our cooperative, and they ask us 1%.
Baguma Siraje is also a beneficiary of the Eurecca project.
I joined the Rufuha Cooperative Society 2 years back. From Eurecca project, the cooperative gave me 1 cattle for dairy, and now it reproduced and it has a heifer. Now I am getting milk from it. Daily, I get 70 liters of milk. And it is at 800. There is a big improvement actually, because that breed that I got from the cooperative, daily I get 10 liters of milk.
Deo kabebasiriza and tumwebaze John Apiary farmers. They also tell us their stories.
Abokuba tukaba turahinga mu rufunjo kubizire baturambura bagira ngo turugemu abo kulinda ubuhangwa bwensi.
We were using wetlands for agriculture, but when the Ministry of Water and Environment officials came, they told us to stop degrading them. I decided to do apiary because it's a cheap project. I hope to expand the project, then I start earning from it. I have hope that the swamp will regenerate.
Tizirahenda munonga ndiremeri nareba ntaraza kushoza munonga nasharamo kubarizo natunga nyirwe mukonka nyine amasiko mu biro byo mu misho nje kuganyirwa mu munonga.
By nature I like them very much, and then I saw it cannot cost so much, so that's why I have chosen to have these bees.
Have you started harvesting from there?
Yes, I have already started.
Like during harvesting time, how much do you earn?
I have earned at least 1 million. Already have earned from them.
Nahamia Lilbert started palm mushrooms as his project from Eurecca.
Mushroom business, first of all, in Kabale, it has ready market. And you can start it with a small amount of money. And it takes short time to mature. Only 3 weeks you start harvesting. You first procure the substrate. The substrate is what we use to make, these ones are called gardens. So for us here in Kabale, we are using the sorghum husks. So you first procure that. That's what I began with by the. And then you also purchase spawn, the mushroom seed. Then from there, maybe if you don't have structures, you can improvise like how I did, and then you're good to go. It's a good business. I'm encouraging even more guys to come in.
How good is it?
It's not tiresome. You don't need to buy chemicals or what. You can imagine, I harvest in the morning, I spray some water, I go in.
Laban Zilibujile and Kalyango Erasmus are leaders in the different water and environment cooperatives.
They brought in the idea of making a cooperative. So when we accepted that idea of making the cooperative, we organized ourselves and we met. We started a team of 40 people. We met and made some management, and we made all the necessary documents that are needed to start a cooperative. The ministry helped us a great deal in the process of registration. So, as I talk, we started with 40 people, but we're now 345 fully paid up members in the Upper Maziba. And out of those 345 members, they have paid 6,900,000 membership shillings for membership. Then shares, we've got 28,080,000 shillings. All the operations are done by us. So since we've known the importance of working together as a cooperative, the cooperative will be sustained, and especially since we've put this component of giving people loans And even what I had not talked of, we are giving the loans on a small interest rate of 1%.
But when the ministry came, they told us, they taught us the use of the wetland. So we were told the importance of the wetland, and we came to adopt the culture of preserving it. And in order to do so, the ministry had to engage us by making us form a cooperative society. And our women, we are even taught how to make mud stoves, energy saving from clay down. We are thankful to the government, because when they pushed us away from the wetlands, they had to demarcate off some area, and in form of I may not call it compensation, but they had to give us an alternative income generating activity by producing this revolving fund which our people are using, and in that it has changed their lives at least. What our challenge now is the price control. We don't have a fixed price because we have not yet begun to sell together. So we are lacking the mechanism of making a market for our bananas.
However much the Ministry of Water and Environment experienced resistance at first, through continued sensitization of the various committees appointed, the program seems to succeed in the selected zones.
These cooperatives are quite unique because they are focused on a particular purpose, which is conservation. And whatever they do, the activities that they do, they have a relationship with conservation of these fragile ecosystems, especially the wetlands, river banks, and we even have the lake shores because we have Lake Mimi here. So the activities that the money funds, they are related. They tend to reduce pressure on the pennies.
Do you just give these people the money, they start any project they want, or how
No,
is it done?
people formed groups according to what they could afford. But it was in relation to the enterprises that would enable them get alternative income that would sustain their livelihoods. That would not, that would discourage them from going back to the wetlands to degrade. So this one is quite unique because when they are doing it, when they are funding, when a team comes to assess, they want you to have a relationship with the wetland conservation. So you have to show that really, once you do this, once you get supported, it gives you the resources at your disposal that will actually make you forget going back to the wetland. You see, conservation will always be successful when the concerned people are the ones in charge. If the community themselves have it that we have to conserve this resource, because it gives us a common, it's a common good to all of us, then they will really conserve it. The moment they don't see it that way, even if you brought what, people will always come back and do the degradation. Because these are policy makers. Now, the technical people who are the implementers were also on board, and also the communities. So the resistance that would be there was kind of softened in the engagements with these communities. So they first saw the reason as to why this intervention was necessary. And they appreciated that these resources are there. They are not for the ministry per se. It's them who are the beneficiaries.
Kwalija Annette Nareva is the Social Development Officer Eurecca project in the Ministry of Water and Environment.
We restored 4 wetlands in Maziwa catchment. One was in Rufuha, in Ntungamo district, in Rechino sub-county. Another one was in In Maziba, it is called Ikona wetland in Maziba sub-county, Kabale district. Another one was in Ntungamo in Kabasheshe, called Kabasheshe in Kayonza sub-county in Ntungamo district. So those are the 4 wetlands that Eurecca project restored within Maziba catchment. The people that wrote the Eurecca proposal were very smart. They knew this question would arise. People were asking us, you are telling us to leave the wetlands. You are telling us to leave the water buffer zones. Where do we go? Because we are getting our livelihoods from the wetlands, from the riverbanks. Our parents were here. This is our parents' land. We have been growing cabbages and Irish potatoes. And so where do we go? So we had the water and environment cooperatives. We mobilized the people, the affected persons. We provided them. People formed groups of their interest. That's how we came up with a group of banana farmers, goat rearing farmers, piggery farmers, apiary farmers, poultry farmers. They have already gotten the revolving fund. They are doing activities that are environmental friendly.
The senior environment officer, Kabale District, Asimwe Evers says, despite the various challenges encountered by the Environment Department, through continued collaboration with a number of non-government organizations, they have continued to give a hand towards conservation of natural resources in the area.
Kabale District Natural Resource Department is facing challenges in as far as land management issues is concerned. So in as far as the department is concerned, we don't have finances. We have manpower, we have personnel in the department, but the challenges we have is one, we don't have a vehicle to use in the management of the environment. You find that in a year, we have like 10 millions, and each quarter 2 millions. So which doesn't cater for the whole department to do its activities. So in facing those challenges, at times we are blessed with some organizations which come in to support the department. For example, we always have organizations like Eurecca project, self-help project, and green climate project. For the Eurecca project, it came in with funds from adaptation fund to support the district. When it came in, it did what we call the baseline survey in the district with the purpose to restore the wetlands and the highland areas. They went on with collaboration with Kabale District Local Government. They made a management plan which they produced to manage the wetland resources so that they can be able to serve the purposes they are supposed to serve.
In a bid to promote environment conservation in the country, Ministry of Water and Environment secured some funds from the Adaptation Fund to help in restoring water catchments in some parts of the country. Gilbert Tusime is the senior water officer.
The ministry received funding from Adaptation Fund to implement this project that was usually targeting the people that are affected by impacts of climate change. And it was working across the country in 3 catchments. One of them is Aswa, that is in northern Uganda. The second catchment is Awoja, that is in Choga Water Management Zone in the east. And here in the Victoria Water Management Zone, it was working in Maziba catchment. And when we talk of Maziba catchment, that is the 4 districts, Ntungamo, Ruchiga, Kabale, and Rubanda district. And this project was implemented by Ministry of Water and Environment through the implementing entity, which is Sahara and Sahel Observatory, that sits in Tunisia, and the fund was from Adaptation Fund. And it had the 3 components, and component 1 was about establishing structures where we find the catchment management committees, the sub-catchment management committees, and these were formed in the different catchments and sub-catchments where the project was implementing. And third, also under the establishing frameworks, there was an output on updating the catchment management committee of Maziba, which was developed in 2013, but had to revise it to incorporate the impacts of climate change. And for the people that were affected by the riverbanks and wetlands, we had to establish, of course, the revolving fund, targeting for those people to improve on their livelihoods. And all these activities were aimed to of course, to increase the resilience of these communities, because climate change is with us, and we have to see how we can adapt and mitigate also the impacts from happening again. And also, these activities, of course, was targeting to see how can we improve on our water quality and the quantity, especially in our rivers and our lakes, of course, across the catchments.
The ministry's approach in restoring water catchments is the best in changing people to adapt to climate change and its mitigation measures.